We'll burn the midnight oil.
To burn the midnight oil into...
Well, if we both burn the midnight oil, I think you could see improvement sooner. Well, if we both burn the midnight oil, I think you could see improvement sooner.
Could you tell me what she said? Well, if we both burn the midnight oil, I think you could see improvement sooner. Do you know what the meaning of burn the midnight oil is? Let's suppose you have a major deadline, an important exam, and every minute counts. You stay up late into the night, fully focused, determined to finish your work. It means to work extremely hard and give your maximum effort, pushing yourself beyond normal hours. You can use this in any situation where extra effort is needed to achieve success. Literally, it comes from the time when people used oil lamps to work at night.
I couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less about.
I couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less about the party.
Couldn't care less about the party.
Could you tell me what he said? I couldn't care less. Let's suppose someone is talking about something that you find completely unimportant or irrelevant, and their opinion or the situation does not affect you at all. It means you do not care at all about something. This phrase is used to express complete indifference or lack of concern.
You're looking disgustingly chirpy.
Well, chirpy life.
You're looking disgustingly chirpy.
Could you tell me what he said? You are looking disgustingly chirpy. Let's suppose you meet someone in the morning and they are very cheerful, energetic, and in a good mood, talking happily and smiling a lot. It means cheerful, lively, and in high spirits. Chirpy comes from the sound birds make when they are happy and energetic.
That you would be dropping in?
Thanks for dropping in.
I know you don't like people dropping in.
Thanks for dropping in.
Could you tell me what he said? Thanks for dropping in. Do you know what the meaning of dropping in is? Let's suppose you are visiting a friend or neighbor without a prior formal arrangement, just for a short visit or to say hello. It means to visit someone briefly, often informally, or without prior notice. It can also describe someone joining a conversation, meeting, or event briefly without formal planning.
Well, we knew you were feeling blue about your current situation.
Feeling blue.
Well, we knew you were feeling blue about your current situation.
Could you tell me what he said? We knew you were feeling blue about your current situation. Do you know what the meaning of feeling blue is? Let's suppose someone is feeling sad, down, or a little depressed, maybe after bad news or a difficult day. It means to feel sad, down, or depressed. The phrase comes from the old nautical tradition. When a ship lost its captain or an officer during a voyage, a blue flag would be flown, symbolizing sadness.
Let the dust settle.
Just let the dust settle. Just let the dust settle.
Could you tell me what she said? Just let the dust settle. Do you know what the meaning of let the dust settle is? Let's suppose there has been a recent argument, conflict, or confusing situation, and things are chaotic or tense. It means to wait for a situation to calm down or become clear before acting. Literally, when dust is stirred up, you cannot see clearly until it settles.
You told me you would move heaven and earth for your amigo.
Would move heaven and earth for you, mi amigo. Would move heaven and earth for you, mi amigo.
Could you tell me what he said? I would move heaven and earth for you. Let's suppose two people have fallen into a raging flood, and you are determined to save them, doing everything possible, calling for help, swimming into strong currents, and using every tool at your disposal. You might say, I'll move heaven and earth to save them. It means to do everything possible, overcome all obstacles, and make every effort to achieve something or help someone.
You got no room for error.
There's no room for error.
There is no room for error.
Could you tell me what he said? There's no room for error. Let's suppose you are a pilot landing a plane in heavy storm, or a surgeon performing a complex operation. Every move must be perfect, and even a tiny mistake could have serious consequences. You might say, during the surgery, the doctor knew there was no room for error. It means mistakes cannot be allowed. Every action must be precise.
Not a day goes by, I don't feel regret. Not a day goes by, I don't feel regret. Not a day goes by, I don't feel regret.
Could you tell me what he said? As not a day goes by, I don't feel regret. Let's suppose a soldier lost his close friend in battle, and every single day he remembers and thinks about him. You might say, not a day goes by that I don't think of my friend. It means something happens or is thought about every single day, consistently. The phrase emphasizes the continuity and consistency of an action, thought, or feeling over time.
I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that.
Could you tell me what she said? I am not sold on that. Let's suppose your team is planning a risky mission, and someone suggests a new strategy. You've thought it through carefully, but you are not fully convinced it will work. You might say, I am not sold on that plan. It seems too risky. It means you are doubtful or hesitant. You don't fully believe or agree with something. Figuratively, if you are not sold on something, it emphasizes skepticism or lack of full confidence. It's often used in meetings, discussions, or when evaluating proposals.
Reduce you to
Or I shall simply reduce you to dust.
I can reduce you to the...
Or I shall simply reduce you to dust.
Could you tell me what he said? or I shall simply reduce you to dust. Let's suppose you're facing a powerful enemy in a battlefield, someone with massive strength, strategy, and resources, and they warn you with full confidence, if you challenge me, I'll reduce you to dust. You might say, he threatened to reduce the enemy to dust with his unstoppable power. It means to completely crush, destroy, or break someone down with overwhelming force.
She ghosted me.
She ghosted me. I really thought we connected, but then she ghosted me.
Could you tell me what she said? I really thought connected, but then she ghosted me. Let's suppose you've been talking to someone you really like, texting, calling, and making plans, but suddenly she stops responding completely, disappearing without any explanation. You might say, she ghosted me after our last date. It means someone suddenly stops responding or disappears from your life without any explanation. The phrase comes from the idea of a ghost, something that vanishes without a trace.
For the moon.
Shoot for the moon.
Shoot for the moon, land among the stars. Shoot for the moon, land among the stars.
Could you tell me what she said? Shoot for the moon, land among the stars. Let's suppose you are applying for a highly competitive scholarship, starting a challenging business, or trying out for a top sports team, a goal that seems almost impossible. You might say, I'm going to shoot for the moon with this scholarship application. Or even if it's risky, we should shoot for the moon and aim for the top prize. It means to set very high ambitions or goals and strive to achieve them, regardless of difficulty or risk.
I can also alter emotions to some extent.
Know that we all create our own realities to some extent.
Could you tell me what she said? I know that we all create our own realities to some extent. Do you know what the meaning of to some extent is? Let's suppose you are leading a team through a difficult project and someone asks if the plan will succeed completely. You evaluate the risks and respond, to some extent, this plan will work, but we need to be careful. It means partially, not entirely, or to a limited degree. Figuratively, it shows that something is true, effective, or valid only in certain aspects or under certain conditions, rather than fully or completely.
We've been through a lot, haven't we?
I've been through a lot of these now.
You've been through a lot.
Could you tell me what he said? He's been through a lot. Let's suppose a close friend has survived a severe accident, lost a loved one, or faced a major crisis in life. You want to express empathy and acknowledge their struggles. You might say, he's been through a lot, so give him some time to heal. It means someone has experienced significant struggles, challenges, or emotional pain. Figuratively, it conveys that the person has overcome or survived difficult experiences.
How can I just turn blind eye? How can I just turn blind eye? How can I just turn blind eye?
Could you tell me what he said? How can I just turn blind eye? Let's suppose you are a security guard at a busy stadium, and you notice someone sneaking in without a ticket. You could stop them, but you choose to ignore it. You might say, he turned a blind eye to the rule breaking. It means to ignore or pretend not to notice something, usually something bad or improper. The phrase originates from the idea of literally closing one eye to avoid seeing something.
You are on crack, all right? And now you are on crack, all right? And now you are on crack. All right, and now
Could you tell me what she said? You are on crack, all right? Do you know what the meaning of you are on crack is? Let's suppose your friend suggests an extremely unrealistic or absurd idea, like quitting a stable job to become a professional astronaut next week. You might respond, you are on crack if you think that's going to work. It means someone's idea, thought, or behavior is completely unrealistic, absurd, or crazy. It's used to express disbelief, shock, or disagreement when someone's thinking seems totally unreasonable or absurd.
Politically, we're poles apart.
At the beginning, Peter and I were poles apart.
Poles apart for me.
At the beginning, Peter and I were poles apart.
Could you tell me what she said? At the beginning, Peter and I were poles apart. Do you know what the meaning of poles apart is? Let's suppose two friends are debating about politics, and one supports strict government control while the other believes in total freedom. Their opinions are completely opposite. You might say, their views on the issue are poles apart. It means totally different, opposite, or having no similarity. The phrase uses the image of the North and South poles, extremely distant and opposite points on the earth.
Couch potato.
Realize I'd become a couch potato. Realize I'd become a couch potato. I'd become a couch potato.
Could you tell me what he said? I had become a couch potato. Do you know what the meaning of couch potato is? Let's suppose someone comes home from work, drops onto the sofa, turns on the TV, and stays there for hours doing nothing, no exercise, no movement, just lying around. You might say, you're turning into a couch potato. It means a lazy person who spends a lot of time sitting, doing nothing active. It is used to describe someone who is not active and wastes time being lazy.
shout from the rooftops how great you are.
Shout from the rooftop and celebrate it. Shout from the rooftop.
Could you tell me what he said? Shout from the rooftops and celebrate it. Let's suppose you just got your dream job. You are so happy that you don't just want to tell your family quietly. You want to tell all your friends, post it on social media, and tell the whole world. In this case, you can say, I'm so excited, I want to shout it from the rooftops. It means you want to announce something exciting or important to everyone in a very public and enthusiastic way. Figuratively, it describes strong excitement or pride, the kind of happiness you can't hide and want everyone to know about.
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts.
Could you tell me what he said? Eat my shorts. Let's suppose your older brother tells you that you can't go to a party. If you're feeling rebellious and want to talk back in a cheeky way, you might say, you're not the boss of me. Eat my shorts. It means a disrespectful, rebellious way to tell someone off or say that you refuse what they are saying. It's like saying, I'm not listening to you, I don't care what you think, or get lost. Figuratively, it expresses defiance, rebellion, and refusal. If this video has taught you something new, please like and subscribe.